Ever wonder why some people always earn respect effortlessly? They're never interrupted. Their time is never wasted. So what makes them different? And what do they have that you don't? I'm about to tell you something that's going to make you angry. The reason they get respect isn't because they're smarter, richer, or more successful than you. It's because they know one psychological trick that you've never been taught. A trick so simple yet so powerful that once you understand it, your entire life will change. Someone cuts in front of you in line, and you say nothing. A friend cancels plans last minute for the third time, and you just smile. Someone takes credit for your idea, and you let it slide. You know what you're really doing. You're training people to walk all over you. But here's the part that's going to shock you. The people who never deal with this, they're not avoiding it by accident. They're using a dark secret about human psychology that Machiavelli discovered 500 years ago. A secret that separates people who command respect from people who beg for approval. What if I told you that being liked is actually making you weak? That every time you try to please everyone, you're giving away your power? That the harder you chase approval, the less people actually respect you? This isn't feel-good advice. This is raw psychology that works every single time. By the end of this discussion, you'll understand why some people naturally command rooms while others disappear in them. Why some people get listened to while others get ignored. And most importantly, how to become the person who never gets disrespected again. Are you ready to stop being everyone's backup plan and start being their first choice? The hidden weakness of being liked is that every single person who's walked all over you, dismissed you, or treated you like you don't matter, they all have one thing in common. They knew you needed their approval more than they needed yours. Think about it. When was the last time someone truly respected a person who was desperate to be liked? Never, because desperation has a smell, and everyone can sense it from a mile away. When you make being liked your priority, you become predictable. People know exactly how you'll react. They know you'll smile even when they insult you. They know you'll agree even when they're wrong. They know you'll show up even when they don't respect your time. And once you're predictable, you become disposable. The harder you try to be liked, the less people actually like you. It's backwards, I know, but think about the people you truly respect. Are they the ones constantly seeking your approval, or are they the ones who seem completely fine without it? The truth is, people are drawn to those who don't need them. It's human psychology 101. We want what we can't have, and we dismiss what comes too easy. When you chase approval, you're literally making yourself less valuable in everyone's eyes. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." He wasn't talking about being a tyrant. He was talking about the psychology of respect. Fear here doesn't mean terror. It means consequences. When people know there's a cost to crossing you, they treat you differently. The dark power of respect is that it's built on one simple principle: consequence. When people know that crossing you will cost them something, they don't cross you. It's that simple. But when people know they can walk all over you without any pushback, guess what happens? They walk all over you. This is where most people get it wrong. They think respect comes from being impressive, successful, or talented, but that's not respect. That's admiration. Respect comes from knowing you won't tolerate disrespect. It comes from boundaries that actually mean something. When someone disrespects you and you do nothing, you're teaching them that disrespecting you is free. You're literally training them to treat you badly. The psychology of control is also crucial. Every single interaction you have is about control. Who's in control of the conversation? Who's in control of the relationship? Who's in control of the outcome? And here's the kicker. If you don't know who's in control, it's not you. Approval seekers hand over control without even realizing it. Every time you modify your behavior to get someone's approval, you're giving them control over your actions. To break free from the approval trap, you need to understand the addiction to approval. Your need for approval isn't just a personality trait. It's an addiction, and like any addiction, it's being used against you by people who understand exactly how it works. Machiavellian rules to command respect include speaking less and acting more, never chasing approval, staying calm under attack, remaining unpredictable, enforcing boundaries swiftly, and using scarcity strategically. These aren't just tactics, they're a way of life, a way of moving through the world that commands respect automatically. When you implement these principles, everything changes. Your relationships improve dramatically. Your confidence skyrockets. Opportunities start coming to you instead of you chasing them, and your stress levels drop. The most important change is that you become psychologically free, free from the exhausting cycle of seeking approval and avoiding disapproval, free from the need to be someone different for everyone you meet, free to be authentically yourself, without apology or explanation. Machiavelli once said, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." Your worth doesn't come from what others think of you. It comes from what you think of yourself and how you choose to show up in the world. This transformation is an instant, and it's not always comfortable. You'll be tempted to slip back into old patterns when things get difficult, but stick with it. Because on the other side of this discomfort is a version of yourself that you've probably never met. Someone who commands respect without demanding it, who attracts genuine relationships without chasing them, who has real power without abusing it. The world is full of people desperately trying to be liked, but it's desperately short of people who command genuine respect. Which one do you choose to be? The journey from people pleaser to respected individual starts with a single step. You've just taken it by reading this. Now take the next one by implementing what you've learned. Remember, respect is your birthright. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Command the respect you deserve, and watch how everything in your life transforms when you finally stop giving your power away. The final affirmation is, respect is my birthright. Repeat it, believe it, and live it. In a world full of people begging to be liked, the person who doesn't need approval holds all the cards. Be that person. Now go out there and command the respect you deserve. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Respect is my birthright. Remember, in a world full of people begging to be liked, the person who doesn't need approval holds all the cards. Be that person. Command the respect you deserve, and watch how everything in your life transforms when you finally stop giving your power away. If this video opened your eyes to how you've been giving your power away, smash that like button. If you know someone who needs to hear this message, share it with them. And if you want more content that cuts through the nonsense and gives you real tools for personal power, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. The journey from people pleaser to respected individual starts with a single step. You've just taken it by watching this video. Now take the next one by implementing what you've learned. Have you ever noticed how some people naturally command respect wherever they go? They aren't interrupted, their time isn't wasted, and people listen when they speak. So what makes them different? It's not money, looks, or even intelligence. It's a psychological principle they've mastered, one you were never taught. And once you understand it, your life will never be the same. Think about it. When someone cuts in front of you in line and you say nothing. When a friend cancels plans for the third time and you just smile. When a coworker takes credit for your idea and you let it slide. You're not being nice. You're teaching people to walk all over you. Here's the truth. Those who never face this problem aren't lucky. They're using a secret discovered centuries ago. A secret that separates people who command respect from people who constantly chase approval. And here's the harsh reality. Being liked can actually make you weak. Every time you try to please everyone, you hand away your power. The more you chase approval, the less people respect you. Respect is not given, it's commanded. And it starts with boundaries, consequences, and the courage to stop begging for validation. By the time you finish this, you'll know exactly why some people silence a room the moment they enter, while others fade into the background. More importantly, you'll learn how to become the person who can never be ignored or disrespected again. The hidden weakness of being liked. Every time you've been overlooked, dismissed, or treated like you don't matter, there was one reason behind it. They knew you wanted their approval more than they wanted yours. Think about it. When was the last time anyone truly respected a person who was desperate to be liked? Never, because desperation has a scent, and everyone can smell it. When being liked is your goal, you become predictable. People know exactly how you'll respond. They know you'll smile even when they insult you. They know you'll agree even when they're wrong. They know you'll show up even when they don't value your time. And when you're predictable, you're disposable. The harder you try to be liked, the less people actually like you. It's backwards, but it's true. Think of the people you genuinely respect. Are they constantly chasing your approval? No, they're the ones who seem perfectly fine without it. They're confident, steady, and unshaken. And that, ironically, is what makes you respect them. This is Psychology 100, and we crave what's scarce, and we dismiss what's abundant. If you're always available, always agreeable, always bending, then you become cheap in the eyes of others. Niccolo Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved." If you cannot be both, he wasn't suggesting cruelty. He was pointing to a truth about respect. Fear doesn't mean terror, it means consequence. When people know there's a cost to crossing you, they think twice. Look at the toughest teacher you ever had, or the strictest boss. Look at the friend who always told you the truth, even when it stung. What do they all have in common? They didn't need your approval. They lived by their standards, not by your applause. Meanwhile, people pleasers get walked on, overlooked, forgotten. Because when you're available to everyone, you're special to no one. The people who benefit from your approval seeking don't actually respect you for it. Deep down, they see you as weak. They may smile to your face, but behind closed doors, they know you're the one who will bend, adjust, and compromise just to avoid disapproval. That's the trap. Millions fall into it, thinking kindness will earn them respect. But kindness without boundaries doesn't win respect. It loses it. Respect isn't given, it's commanded. And you can't command respect when you're on your knees begging for approval. Boundaries, the silent language of power. Respect isn't something you ask for. Respect isn't something you beg for. Respect is something you command. And the secret weapon behind that command is one word. Boundaries are not walls. They are not about shutting people out. Boundaries are invisible signals, silent rules, unspoken laws that say, "This is who I am. This is what I allow. This is what I do not tolerate." Most people think boundaries are about others. But the truth, boundaries start with you. If you don't respect your own limits, no one else will. Why most people fail at boundaries? Think about how many times you've said yes when you wanted to say no. How many times you laughed off a rude comment because you didn't want to make it awkward. How many times you let someone waste your time because you didn't want to seem rude. Every time you do that, you send a silent message. My comfort doesn't matter. My time doesn't matter. My respect doesn't matter. And people believe you. See, people aren't cruel by nature. They're opportunistic. If you allow disrespect, it becomes the norm. If you show no standards, you'll live by theirs. And here's the tragedy. Most people don't lack potential. They lack boundaries. They could rise, shine, and command respect. But they've trained the world to overlook them. The psychology of boundaries. Psychologists say boundaries are the foundation of healthy relationships. But it goes deeper than psychology. Boundaries are the foundation of power. Why? Because power isn't loud. Power is silent. It doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It doesn't chase. Power simply exists, and others feel it. Think of someone you deeply respect. A parent, a mentor, a leader, maybe even a boss. Did they have to constantly remind you to respect them? No, you felt it in their presence. And that presence was built on boundaries. Boundaries create clarity. Boundaries create consequence. Boundaries create respect. Without them, people will take, test, and push until nothing of you is left. Boundaries in everyday life. Boundaries aren't always dramatic. They're in the little things. When someone talks over you, do you pause and let them? Or do you finish your thought with confidence? When a friend cancels plans for the third time, do you keep saying it's okay? Or do you stop making plans with them? When a coworker tries to dump their workload on you, do you accept it, or do you firmly say, "That's not my responsibility"? These small moments define how people see you. And here's the key. People remember how you allow them to treat you. The strongest people don't scream, "Respect me." They simply refuse to stay where they are not respected. The fear of rejection. Here's why most people fail at boundaries. Fear of rejection, fear of being disliked, fear of losing people. But listen closely. Boundaries don't push away the right people. They filter out the wrong ones. If someone walks away because you enforced your limits, they were never truly with you. Real friends, real partners, real allies. They don't leave when you set boundaries. They respect you more. Think of the friend who always tells you the truth, even when it stings. You might roll your eyes in the moment, but deep down you trust them. Why? Because they have boundaries. They don't bend to make you feel comfortable at the cost of honesty. Now flip it. Think of the friend who always says yes, who never disagrees, who bends in every direction to keep the peace. Do you truly respect them? Or do you quietly see them as weak? The sun example. Let me give you an image. The sun shines on everyone. It gives warmth, light, energy, but if you get too close, you burn. That's the perfect boundary. Be kind, be generous, be warm. But never let people forget if they cross the line. They pay the price. Boundaries are not cruelty. They are clarity. How to build boundaries. Know your standards. If you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for everything. Write down what you will and will not accept. Your future self, the one who commands respect, who has genuine relationships, who doesn't need anyone's approval to feel complete, is waiting for you to make this decision. The only question is, how long are you going to make them wait? Let's do this. Let's take back our power. Let's command the respect we deserve. Let's be the person who doesn't need approval. Let's be the person who holds all the cards. Repeat it, believe it, live it. Now that you've learned the secrets to commanding respect, it's time to put them into action. Remember, respect is not something that's given to you. It's something that's earned. And the good news is that you have the power to earn it. So go out there and start commanding the respect you deserve. Speak less and act more. Never chase approval. Stay calm under attack. Remain unpredictable. Enforce boundaries swiftly. And use scarcity strategically. And most importantly, remember that your worth doesn't come from what others think of you. It comes from what you think of yourself and how you choose to show up in the world. You are worthy of respect. You deserve to be treated with dignity and kindness. And it's time to start believing it. So let's wrap this up with one final affirmation. I am worthy of respect. Repeat it, believe it, live it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.